Warning, the following episode of TYFP contains depictions of graphic gore and violence. Viewer discretion is advised.
We got to jump to the next topic, man. But they got over like 400, 500 fatalities. But golly, that one was.
Well, this turns into a 5-hour podcast.
Yeah. Man, I gotta say, that's the longest question of the week we've ever, like the longest time we've ever spent on one.
Oh, question of the bye week. We're making up for 2 weeks. You know what I'm saying?
There you go.
Yeah. So
get it right. New branding.
So my next question. I don't think this will be elaborated as much as the fatalities, but damn.
Don't say that. Don't say that.
It shouldn't be. But I want to say favorite character. I want to tie in. Well, yeah, I'm going to just go ahead and say favorite character. Out of all the Mortal Kombats, it doesn't even have to be your main, but who aesthetically pleases you or personality-wise. Who are you glad they brought into the game? Like, who are you glad that you got to see in the game? Like, I made a remark about Hooty from Street Fighter. Even though I don't play her, I like seeing her in the story. She's mischievous, she's obnoxious, and she's a powerful fighter. So Mortal Kombat, throughout the whole series, who's a character, and it could be your main, it could not be, but who's a character, you know, that you're fond of? Like, who do you like in Mortal Kombat?
So not necessarily our favorite.
It can be your favorite. It can be. But I'm just saying, who are you glad is in Mortal Kombat? If that makes any sense. When they get announced in the game, you're like, man, I'm glad they're in the game. Happy to see them.
Gotcha.
Oh man, okay. I'm gonna keep it simple. Go Hooty.
Go ahead. Let's let Hooty go. Go ahead.
Okay,
Hooty.
so the one that I want to see, he's only been in one, but I really want to bring the Takeda back.
Are we gonna have the same one?
Yeah, Takeda.
So yeah.
No.
Oh.
Okay. So I'm gonna let you elaborate on Takeda, but I just want to add in that he has been highly requested, and people were super disappointed out of all the combat kids. That's what they brand them.
Because he was the only good one.
He did not come back.
No, I think that Kung Jin was pretty good.
Kung Jin was really good as well. The only reason why I didn't really care for Cassie or Jackie is because those two characters, their parents are in the game still, so it's like, why even be here?
Yeah.
But Takeda, man, I really want to see him come back. I really like
Takeda's parent is in the game.
Well, yeah, but he's not.
Both his dads are in the game.
Yeah, but he's not necessarily like those characters. He's got his own flavor to him.
He does play very differently. Yeah,
you know.
Yeah.
And like
Jackie is just Jax, but kicky.
Yeah, exactly.
His character arc where he's like, get away from me! You're not my real dad, Master Hisashi. He teamed up with Scorpion.
You're just a skeleton.
Yeah, so it is what it is. Nah, he didn't tell Scorpion that. He embraced Scorpion. He was telling Kenshi to get away. You're not my real dad.
Oh yeah, I got it mixed up. For some reason, I thought Scorpion was his real dad. I got it babackwards.
Get away from me! You're just a Neo knockoff. You know, he didn't want Kenshi. Master Hisashi. But yeah, that was a very interesting story arc. So that was a good pick. Yeah, that was a good pick, Hooty.
Thanks, sir.
Mm-hmm. But BLJ, you look like you was over there glowing. You ain't really said you feeling super juiced up, but I saw you glow a little bit. You was about to answer, so.
Well, I'm gonna take it back. You remember we had the episode about the outfits, about which character costumes we like the most, and I sent in a picture with all the MK ninjas from MK3 on there.
Yes.
So for me personally, because I like so many characters in MK, I know you asked for one, but I just really like all the ninjas.
That's fine.
I'm just a fan of all.
I'm not gonna be here. Oh, disqualification! You here to just, speak your thoughts.
Like,
so yeah, you just fond of all the ninjas.
I will say when Amber, she fell.
no.
My bad, boo.
Oh, you like all them men? Well, I'm out of here.
My bad, baby.
Yeah.
No, but I really liked Trimmer when they put him in the game because he's a ninja, but he just looks different than the other ninjas. He's way more buff. Most of the ninjas are kind of slim, muscular, but he's like bodybuilder big. And I thought that was a pretty cool take on the ninjas because none of them were really that. I mean, they're all swole, but like he was like the swollest. And I thought that looked really cool.
Fun fact, if I have my lore correct, he's part of the Black Dragon. You know, he's part of Kano's organization. I think Kano might have betrayed him or something like that. You know, big surprise there. But yeah, he's also part of the Black Dragon. That's why he made his debut, I believe, in Mortal Kombat Special Forces. Nobody talks about that game and how great it was. But yeah, he was in that game, Mortal Kombat Special Forces.
Why you lying to these people, bro?
Yeah. You don't do that to those people.
Yeah, but that's cool.
It's like saying Sonic 6 was a good game.
Nothing wrong with that.
I will say I don't like his color though, because he's brown, right? Like a brown ninja.
Yeah.
Not a fan of the doo-doo brown, but he is a pretty cool ninja though.
Yeah.
More like a beige.
That's my
that was a character. That was a character that I didn't even know about until he showed up in MKX, and then I played him when he dropped, and I've been wanting him to bring him back ever since. I was hoping he'd be one of the initial roster in MK11, and they were like, "No, we don't like Trimmer that much. That's why we only bring him back every like 15 years."
Okay. What about you?
I gotta wait on MK14 to get Trimmer, I guess.
Yeah. Still mixed feelings about 12, but I'll talk about that later. Editor extraordinaire, Lambo, what about you?
Man, I would love to see Trimmer come back, like I said, but if there's a character, and I don't even know that I would say I always get excited when I see them because they're in every game, but Sub-Zero has always been a favorite of mine. Like, whether I play him in a game or not, I will always, as soon as I pick up the game, I will try Sub-Zero to see how I like his gameplay in that game. Yeah. And, you know, I may or may not stick with him based on how I feel about him in that particular edition, but he's one that I always go to as soon as the game drops.
Gotcha.
What you got, BLJ?
BLJ already said his.
You mentioned something that I wanted to ask during this pod, and you said you really liked. You always want to check out Sub-Zero for his gameplay, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And we can finish this question out because I think Toro, you're the last one to answer this. Mm-hmm. But after you, one of my questions is which like character throughout the whole like series did you guys like enjoy playing just for their gameplay, like how they felt in your hands when you were using them? You know what I mean?
Cool.
Because I got my fave, but you go Toro, and then we can answer that if you get done. You know what I mean?
We'll jump to that.
Deep breath, boys.
Don't say it. Don't say it.
Long. So,
it's either JC or LK.
Well, man, there's just this one character that just they enchant me every time they grace the screen.
Oh,
you know, it is my.
Well, now I know who it is.
It is my duty. It is my solemn duty to represent this character. This character has taught me hard work, dedication, good morals, and badassery. You know, it brings you far. And that person I'm talking about, the previous MK mascot, these dragon glasses that you see in my glasses right now, that's actually a representation of that character, is none other than the undisputed, immortal, swagoo Liu Kang. Lambo saw it coming, you know, light years away. But
I think we all saw it coming.
Is by far, and Johnny Cage is behind him, but poster boy, blah, 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 whatever. That is by far my favorite character in the entire series. And I'm not going to elaborate too long, but MK2 Liu Kang was just OP. Everything about him. his battle cries.
You don't say.
His lore. Yeah, his lore. I mentioned this in an earlier pod. MK1 Liu Kang, he had the short cut. His hair was like medium length. And before Mortal Kombat 1, he shaved his head. All the monks were, they had their heads shaved. But Liu Kang, being their representative from the Temple of Light, they let him grow his hair out a little bit. So when the Tarkatan forces invaded, when the Tarkatan forces invaded, on behest of Shao Kahn, and they killed his Shaolin brethren for no reason, he turned into a renegade Shaolin monk. And him sparing his opponents is no more. So in an act of rebellion and badassery, he grows his hair out and he adopts the red headband and he starts putting foot in ass. And he wins tournament after tournament after tournament. And I'm just sitting here like, But eventually, Ed Boon and Co., he wins too much. So they let his legacy, and I said I wasn't going to get into this because we already went over it in Lower Letdowns. Long story short, they let these two half-ass sorcerers sneak him and take away his glory, and his corpse gets reanimated and blah, blah, blah. But
zombie Liu Kang is best Liu Kang.
No, sir. And I do want to say this. Hooty, I hear you. I'm going to throw it to you, but Mortal Kombat 11, they made the atrocious aesthetic design choice of letting him get a mop from the janitor's closet and put it on his head tie a blue headband around his head and give him like some light up blue contacts with some night bright tattoos and let him masquerade as Fire God Liu Kang. It is a very visually unappealing aesthetic. Where in MK9, somebody came up with his own unique look, his own uniform, and he was like a tyrant fire god. And I was so excited where I was just talking about earlier, where these arcade ladders, they will give you a possibility of where the character could go, and then they completely scrap it. And no disrespect to NetherRealm Studios, they do a lot of hard work behind the scenes, but Liu Kang's aesthetic choice for MK11, when he ascends, he finally becomes a god. It was lazy as fuck. But long story short, Liu Kang is my favorite character. So, end of story. Big surprise there.
Okay.
What you got, Hooty?
Fun fact, I'm pretty sure Liu Kang was based off Chong Li from the Bloodsport movie, who was the bad guy. So we're just going to drop that little lore on you a little bit.
Okay.
Which is funny that he's the good guy.
Yeah. I love Chong Li too.
Heavily inspired by Bruce Lee, but he was supposed to be like the Chong Li from the original game, since it was supposed to be based on Bloodsport.
That's what's up.
Okay.
Hooty, did you answer this question already? Are we moving on to the next?
Oh, you talking about my favorite MK character?
Yeah. Oh yeah, Takeda. Yeah, you went first. Okay, cool.
Okay.
Well, BLJ, you mind repeating that?
Yeah. So gameplay wise, who's your favorite character you've played with in an MK game? Like, when you play with them, you do their moves and all that. It just feels right to you when you're playing them.
The Cyrex variation of Triborg MKX.
Yep. I knew that's where you were going.
Wait, you said who? Cyrex what?
The Cyrex variation of Triborg and MKX. My combos would literally take a whole 10 seconds.
Gotcha.
Now, if he opens you up, you ain't playing the game anymore, basically.
He was like that at MK9 as well with all those resets.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He was really heavily nerfed in MKX, though. And then even nerfed more after a couple balance patch notes.
He was too good.
Okay.
Well, what about you, Mr. Torian?
Man, I'm going to jump in, and this is going to be, from left field because I never repped this fool.
Kano.
Man. Speaking of which, he is a close runner-up, but we just name him one. Because when in MK11, he's like, sorry, mate, joke's a joke. That by itself is gameplay, and I can listen to that all day.
MK11 Kano was really good.
Oh, yeah.
It's kind of
there's
like
this little tidbit.
The movie Kano who backpacked the whole new MK movie.
Unpopular opinion. Like I said, we'll kick that movie while it's down towards the end. But I wasn't fond of Kano in the new movie.
How dare
I feel
you?
like he was
Canceled.
trying to.
You're
No,
fired.
man. I
Tomato,
feel like he
tomato.
was trying to be too much. He was trying to be too much like Johnny Cage. Like it didn't fit him. But there's a line of dialogue that he says in MK11 in the middle of his combos. He's like, "5 says you die." You know, I really like when he says that. You know, $5 say you die. That's cool. But my pick, it's very out of left field because I don't really rep this fool at all. But I'm gonna take it all the way back to MK Trilogy since we just picking one, and I just want to go by his move set, which is kind of repetitive, but his new combo strings. Scorpion. When they gave Scorpion the battle axes in MK Trilogy, and he has the combos where he just does the tip tap kicks. He does like 4 of them.
Yeah.
Y'all know what I'm talking about in MK Trilogy?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All that stuff was cool. And then we visited fatalities, but let's take it to his fatality where I'm trying to think. Isn't it the one where he sends you to another room and all these different scorpions, the clones, they stomp your ass out and the screen goes black and you scream?
I've never seen this one.
Yep.
Yeah, BLJ, you remember, huh?
Yep.
He transports you to the nether realm and a whole bunch of other scorpions jump out. It's about 15 of them fools on the screen and they stomp you out and you hear your opponent screaming fatality. So I hardly represent Scorpion for anything, but I was very impressed and I enjoyed playing Scorpion in MK Trilogy and Ultimate MK3. It wasn't just Trilogy, but Ultimate MK3 as well because he was absent in MK3. So, yeah, Scorpion is my pick for gameplay,
Yeah.
But what about y'all?
It's like
Lambonius?
Man, mine's a boring answer. I've already told you.
Is it Su Hao?
Like he's the character. Yeah, totally. Su Hao. He's the character I always run to every time. I was real sad when Aaron Black threw his head on the ground in MKX. Super sad, let me tell you. I contemplated just sitting in the tub for a week with a bottle of wine. But now,
gone but not forgotten.
Sub-Zero is. Yeah, right. I've got a tattoo on my back about him.
Whoa.
Whoa.
No, Sub-Zero is my boring answer. He's the character I play the most in most games. There's only been 1 or 2 that I didn't play Sub-Zero the most, and it'd be Armageddon, and I think actually MK11, he wasn't my most played character. And then he was in MKX until Tremor came out, and then I switched over to Tremor because I just was having more fun with him.
Nice.
But
nice.
Boring answer.
Gotcha.
But still better than Scorpion.
Well, since we're on a gameplay, what do y'all feel about like there's no legacy with Mortal Kombat? It's always new every new title.
So I have a hard disagree with you there because they keep circling around the first 3 games. Like that's legacy in itself. They keep revisiting the first 3 tournaments.
But not gameplay wise.
Yeah, I mean,
that's what you mean. Sorry about that. I misinterpreted.
Because Sub-Zero is nowhere near the same Sub-Zero in 11 as he is in 10 or 9. Like those are
even the one that you mentioned, Torian, with the battle axes, like that's different than the other MK Scorpion.
I'll tackle this question first.
Again.
Yeah, I'll tackle this question first. I just feel like the style of Mortal Kombat, they feel like they have to do that. Like you can't just rehash it out with new characters. The Mortal Kombat fan base is toxic enough as it is. So if you do the same,
no, we're not.
You do the same meter style and stuff like that. It's the same game. People, this is just a reskin with new characters. Like people will get mad. It's damned if you do, damned.
Well,
if
that's
you
because
don't.
Mortal Kombat is a kids game.
Oh yeah. So
yikes.
Again, with MK12, mixed feelings there. I know they're gonna completely revamp, the gameplay. I was in the minority where I enjoyed MK11 more than MKX. That's just me. I really enjoyed the neutral. I enjoyed the combos. I enjoyed the crushing blows. It felt so satisfying when
those were cool. I'll give you that.
When I landed 2 bicycle kicks and my third enhanced bicycle kick, it did a crushing blow. with the bicycle kick. All that was so cool. And going back to what BLJ was talking about the brutalities, it was so cool to watch somebody string a brutality from like a 9-10 hit combo. They would start the combo and you didn't know it was going to end with a brutality. So not only did they do this badass combo on you, they finished it with a brutality. And those were always fun, to look at. Like, I enjoyed looking at those. Minor gameplay tidbit. Like I said, I don't want this podcast to run over. And there's an important topic that I have to ask y'all because I'm going to give my feelings on it. But one little nitpick about MK11 and MKX, I think I told y'all about these. Very rarely did someone do this, but I was always disappointed. And I brought this up in a previous episode. I do not like the fact that everybody has these badass fatal blows and they don't kill. That was one of the stupidest design choices they could have ever done. They should have made it to where if you were above a certain health threshold, the fatal blow didn't kill and it was different. But again, I'm digging back. Yeah, I'm digging back into legacy TYFP episodes, but I describe how much I love Scarlet's fatal blow. And to this day, it's still my favorite. Where she shanks you and she brings out the scythe and then she knocks you in the air and she hits you in the face with the blood javelin and it goes through your head and then you just get up. First you don't succeed, try again, dust yourself off. I didn't like that. Yeah, definitely should have killed you, and that definitely would have added to the badassery of the game. That's my nitpick with that. But that's my gameplay question, Hooty. Sorry, I'm always elaborating, but I feel like it's a necessity. Hold on, BLJ. I was just telling them, I feel like it's a necessity to change the gameplay. Like, they can't release the same game with the same gameplay, or the toxic NRS community is going to flip out. But yeah, go ahead, BLJ.
Yeah, before you go to the next question, because I didn't get my character off the one that gameplay or whatever. But three things real quick.
By all means.
Because as y'all were talking, y'all said some things, and I wrote them down real quick. So I'm going to go through them real quick. For the legacy moves, one thing that really bothers me about MK moves as they progress down with the games, they always have different different commands to do the special moves. So one game,
you're right.
Scorpion might have back punch as the spear, but the other game is back forward punch. Or Sub-Zero might have down forward X, and then the next game is down forward triangle or something. Like, it's just weird that they changed that.
Why do they do that?
Why they changed that? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense because it's not like they have an overabundance of special moves to where they have to move stuff around to make more sense. They just do it.
I mean, it made sense for like when they did Sub-Zero in Injustice because there was only 3 buttons.
Different buttons. Yeah. That makes sense.
That, and then you mentioned fatal blows, how they don't kill. One big gripe that I had with fatal blows in MK11, they all look very cool visually, but some of them had some dumb requirements that would never be done in actual battles. And I thought that was
first off, I think you mixing up fatal blows with crushing blows. You talking about crushing blows.
Yeah.
Oh, wait.
Fatal blows, what I'm talking about.
Fatal blows are the supers.
The X-rays. But they're called fatal blows.
Oh, okay, yeah, my bad. I have mixed up.
Crushing blows. No, but I agree with you. The crushing blows, some of them requirements were pretty dumb. Can you think of something off your head that pissed you off?
One was I think it was Reigns. All right, I'm gonna be all over the place. I'm trying not to be all over the place. One of my favorite moves in fighting game history is Reigns' back kick that kicks you off the screen onto the other side of the screen. I love that move. Like, I love that more than the Hadouken or the Shoryuken, anything. Like, that move is so sick to me. But anyways, he can do that in MK11, but to get the crushing blow for that move, you have to so for him to do it, you have to enter a stance. But you have to enter the stance real quick, cancel it, and enter the stance and do the move again to get the crushing blow. And it's so slow, no one's ever going to get hit by that move. So you'll never see the crushing blow for that move.
I think that's actually Shang Tsung when he
Shang Tsung's my bad.
into
Yeah.
rain. But you're right. Yeah, it's his rain transformation.
Yeah.
You
so
know,
we
played Shang Tsung more than anybody I know.
You say it again?
I said Hooty would know. He played Shang Tsung more than anybody else I know.
Oh. Yeah, no, but that move was really cool, but that was the requirement to get the crushing blow for that move. And, in MK11, the approach that they had to the animations in the game, like they just move really slow. So the likelihood of you hitting that move at all was just like a 0% chance. You know what I mean? But anyways, back to the main question when I was like, who had the best gameplay? I told you guys a couple times over some older pods, but tag games are my favorite fighting games, like 2-on-2 tags, right? So I'm going to take it all the way back to MK Deception, Noob Smoke, when they had those two together.
Yeah.
I love that character design. I thought it was so sick because, you could you switch between stances during the fights, and their stance was just swapping out each character like you would in a tag game. So that was cool. And then when you would do their combos, a lot of their moves, they would do stuff together. So it looked like you were playing a tag game, even though that's not a tag game. So I thought that was very sick way back then. So when I played that game,
we didn't see more of it.
I know, man. Like when I played that game way back in the day, like it felt right to your boy. I mean, it just felt so right. It had your boy super juiced up. Loved it. Yeah. So hopefully they, I don't know, bring something back like that in the future. I mean, they had Ferritor, but I didn't really like Ferritor.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
Ferritor was kind of cool. I thought Ferritor was an interesting concept. It just, unfortunately, they didn't continue with that character. So, but maybe we'll see more in the future.
Yeah.
Yeah, you never know. They might return.
That was my pick.
Okay. So this is what I've been had cooking in the oven. And y'all answer might not be as ridiculous as mine. But me and Lambo were talking about jobbers. And like I said, this pod been going on for a while, so I'm going to try to narrow it down. Who is your most disappointing character who you were excited about? Well, I'll take that back. You don't even have to be excited about him. What character in the MK universe have you met? And you're like, boy, this character is whack. Like, what the hell is this? And it doesn't have to be design wise. It could be gameplay wise, lore wise, ambition wise, like, what they want to do in the MK universe. What character was a letdown for you, And like, so you don't have to initially be excited about him, but what character that you meet on the roster and later on down the line, you just like, man, this character kind of whack.
Man, biggest jobber out there, Curtis Stryker.
Stryker, boy. I mean, a certain person listening to this podcast, he gonna get riled up.
Don't get me wrong. I love Stryker. I think Stryker's a dope character, but in every game, like he's like mid or like low tier. Like he's really bad in every game. Like they don't put no respect on my boy name.
He got that sucker punch on Melina on Armageddon when they were all looking at that light on that pyramid.
Punched
the shit out of Melina. Yeah.
Yeah. Nah, and then on top of that, he had a super lame fatality in I think it was MK3, and it was so easy to do.
I knew you was going to say that.
It was like back circle, and he'll shoot like a long range stun gun, and that was it. Like he'll electrocute you and then you'll fall.
The taser.
Yeah, it was stupid. They make my boy look bad every game. Why they do that to him?
I know a Stryker loyalist that will say those were some of the greatest fatalities ever. That's none other than my brother Jacob. We go way back. He's a Curtis Stryker loyalist and enthusiast. And they used to have Mortal Kombat tournaments, at FX and stuff. and he would pop off on MK9 with Stryker, and he whoop people and put in the fatality and would walk away while the fatality is performed and wouldn't even look at it. Like, it was good times, man. Good times, man. He loves Stryker to this day. He always called, and it's so funny that MK3, when you pick him, Stryker, but everybody calls him Curtis Stryker because, in his bio, his name is Curtis Stryker. But it's funny because in the game, they don't call him Curtis, but everybody that I know calls him Curtis Stryker. I just think that man demands his respect, and they spit on him every time. No, man, he's all right. And then Mortal Kombat 9, he was putting in work. I don't know if he's low tier on 9, but like I said, Jacob was making him work, and I enjoyed watching him.
I will say fight. On 9, when he does his X-ray move, one thing I really liked about his, when he take the baton out and hit you with it, the noise that the baton makes, it sounds so impactful. Yeah, it like had an echo and everything. Like, it sounded like it really hurt. But yeah, that's about the only thing. The character that just grind treat himself. Yeah,
I'm gonna disagree with you on who the biggest jobber in MK is, because it's definitely not Stryker. He hasn't even had enough time to really do much of anything. The biggest and most unfortunate jobber, and we can all agree on this, at least 3 of us, is Reptile. He started out as a super hidden secret boss. That would just beat the dog shit out of you. And then they turn him into a jobber that can barely handle Cassie or Jackie. And when they're not even ready to fight. And he has been the biggest disappointment in a character that I've seen in Mortal Kombat for me.
I literally explained MK4 how they slapped us in the face because you go through the arcade ladder and he gets his head blown off. So they really had,
and I didn't even know about that,
Reptile.
and that just makes it worse.
Yeah, you should look it up. Mortal Kombat 4 Reptile ending. Listen to how sad it is. You can hear the pain in his voice. He just wanted to go back to his home world. And it's like, nope, we just used you for our own ends. You're useless now. You served your purpose. And then they killed him. And I was like, wow, you did not just do that.
One of the biggest super bosses we've ever had in fighting. Well, sorry, not one of the biggest.
The first hidden boss. Yeah,
was he first? I couldn't remember if it was him or Akuma that was first.
That is a good question. But Mortal Kombat 1 came out. Akuma didn't show up until Super Street Fighter 2.
Right.
And Reptile was in Mortal Kombat 1. So I'm pretty sure Reptile was the first hidden boss. And yet, they spit on him.
Yeah.
So,
first or second secret boss we've had in fighting games, and they've turned him into this.
Well, I'll give you some insight. His journey to becoming a jobber began on the original Mortal Kombat movie, where he came out of that statue and he beat the brakes off of Liu Kang. And then he played too much Jackie Chan Stuntmaster, and Liu Kang was on the ground like dazed. And then for some reason, he decides to do parkour off the top of those stairs, and Liu Kang catches him and throws him into like a concrete wall. And after that,
that's because Liu Kang has plot armor.
He gets the brakes beat off him. No comment on that. I'm just gonna say that he tried to do parkour in the air and he got thrown to concrete, and then Liu Kang.
But that was still one of the best fights in the movie too.
Oh,
he put up a better fight than Sub-Zero, in my opinion.
Oh yeah. Water. Yeah.
Use the element which brings life.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I'm not gonna tell you how to use it, but do it.
Yeah. She was a baddie. He's gonna listen. He figured it out. She's a baddie.
Yeah.
All right. So that's two. That's two down. Who do you want to go ahead and jump in?
I think one that was probably done really terrible, but I do like the character design, was actually the Collector from MK11. I mean, every time he shows up, he gets slapped around. And then, like, his motivation is just basically, like, his whole motivation is to be money and Shao Kahn's lapdog. Like, I mean, I can get being greedy, but it's like the whole idea is, Shao Kahn's my boss, and I have no ambition above that. I just feel like they could have made that character way more interesting than they actually did.
And you can even make greed interesting as a motivator.
Right.
Like Lex Luthor is one of the most popular villains in comics, and his big motivation is greed.
Mm-hmm.
But I felt like they just, I don't know, I felt like they dropped the ball on that character a little bit. And then everybody's like, oh, it's a terrible character. Nobody likes him. What is he? Worthless. It was like, yeah, but I don't know.
But he had a really cool design, like you said. Like, that's the crazy part is he's a brand new character, 11 entries into the series. They're still coming out with new characters that have interesting designs. They're just falling flat on the motivation and personality of these characters.
Right. And honestly, it might be a little bit on. I'm not really digging the whole way they do the story mode. It's like good guys win every fight.
Yeah.
You got to throw us some bad guys in there. Let's see the bad guys win a little bit. You know what I mean? Like,
but to be fair,
let's put some skin in the game.
Aftermath. Yeah, Mortal Kombat Aftermath, to Lambo's delight, Shao Kahn messed up my boy Liu Kang pretty bad. Like, broke both his legs. And yeah, he messed him up super bad.
Because Liu Kang a bitch.
Whoa. Please calm down. Please calm down. No, we don't speak like that.
I mean it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, like the add-on that they did with MK11, I thought some of that stuff was really good. We did get to see some bad guys win a little bit, but the original story for it was like,
yeah, beautiful storytelling. By the way, like the graphics was top notch. But go ahead, Lambo.
I was gonna say a perfect example of bad guys losing when they shouldn't is in MKX, you have Kotal Khan. He's supposed to be the ruler of Outworld, meant to rival Shao Kahn's strength.
Let me pull that out the bag.
He gets beat by Kung Jin.
Boy, we about to combo on. We both stomped this fool out because I've been sitting here. Look, I've been rocking in my chair, ready to throw my tomatoes at that fool. But go ahead. You went on about Reptile. That's why I was patiently waiting my turn. But thanks for the assist.
Oh, I was just dropping a little bit of extra spice on that recipe that Hooty was putting together.
You know how tag teams be, where one waiting in the corner and one is really exhausted, and they run and slap my hand. You just slap my hand. So let me
beautiful
slide in
segue.
There. Let me tell you how much I
slide on in there.
Khan. First off, I want to give a shout out, and I want to say it's an honor to have a character voiced in MK by Phil Lamar, legendary voice actor. And I was super stoked that this man lent his voice acting talents to Mortal Kombat. With that shit out of the way, how in the world, like Lambo's saying, there is this being, he has like an Aztec aesthetic. And I'm not big on blood drinkers, not talking down on their culture, whatever. That shit's already weird.
The vampires are cool, okay?
He has this, vampires ain't got hearts and sucking them like mangoes and grapefruit and shit. But anyways, he has like a sword. He has this tribal headdress. On the right
website.
He has this tribal headdress. And on top of that, for all our viewers with holy ears, cover your ears for about 20 seconds. This fool's clapping Jade. Like, for some reason, Jade is in love with this weirdo.
We have found blood. The issue with Kotal Khan.
Yeah. Yes. You know what I'm saying?
Stole his video game boo.
Oh, yeah.
He was doomed from the start. Huh?
It gets worse. It gets worse. This fool got a 10,000-year-old baddie like Jade. And this fool cheats on her with fucking Bug Lady, Devora. Like, if you go to some of their interactions, Devora says, when are you going to tell Jade about us? And then Kotal Khan says something about she knows nothing, or you'll say nothing about this, so I don't know what you're talking about. So, like I said, my boy had Edenian cheeks that's been in the oven for like 10,000 years. And then he like, I want to try something a little different. I want that beetle over there. Her wings is flapping and shit. Like, have you seen Devora? Have you seen her? Like, why? Why would you do that?
I can tell you why, but not on the podcast.
Yeah.
Okay. Why would you do that?
That thing might make some feelings Nobody knows.
Adenian Batty, who was beautiful.
Gotta get us canceled real quick.
Yeah, she's won the Mortal Kombat popularity contest of beautiful female. I agree. Adenian Batty, but this fool goes after a damn beetle, you know? And Devora is not very pleasing to look at. I don't know what he was on.
There's somebody for everybody, Toro.
But I'm not king shaming, but he had a Denian Batty. So that's the first part of my assault, and I'm gonna try not to linger on it too long. My second part of my assault is Rain, which I'm disappointed in his MK11 aesthetic. Like, he went from sounding badass in MKX. Remember, I told you a lot of voice acting critiques here. Fun fact, MKX, he was voiced by Johnny Cage. Johnny Cage's voice actor is the same in MKX and 11. He also voiced Rain in MKX. And they let him talk in like a watery sound, right? Sounded badass. He called Kotal Khan by his government name, Bullock. And those two do not like each other. And I cannot lie to y'all. It was so cool to see those two interact. And Rain said that I'm a true god. I was not merely declared a god by befuddled commoners, and he called him Bullock. Boy, that hyped me up. Anyways, he square off against Rain, and he get the bamboozle put on him. Like, Rain teleports behind him and does like a bubble drop kick and knocks him off the building. Lame. And on top of that, let's go to MK11. I'm gonna fast forward. Not only is he clapping Beatles instead of his beautiful Adenian bride, I'm gonna keep bringing that up. He just gets stomped out by everybody in the trailers, throughout the story. He gets his ribs broken, and he tries to act all badass because they go to this Tarkatan village, right? And they find a female Tarkatan, and he wants to execute the whole village after they've been defeated. So he's a loser in real life, and he gets stomped out all the time. So he wants to act all big and bad and tell Jade that he's gonna exterminate the whole village. And then Jade checks his ass and tell him he ain't gonna get no more nookie if he does it. And then he backs away and he continues to be a loser for the rest of the story. That's pretty much what she said.
If I may be mistaken, but I'm pretty sure when he was clapping bug cheeks, wasn't Jade dead at the time?
Dead?
Might have. That's not an excuse to go with bug cheeks, bro. That's still not an excuse. Unacceptable. There were many others that he could have got away with, but not Beetleborg. Like, he's basically messing with a Beetleborg. But anyways,
Melina wasn't going to.
Oh yeah. But all I'm saying is she basically pleaded. I don't know. I was going to say Jade basically told him that he's being a tyrant, and he backed off. But he knew deep down that if he went against his queen's wishes, that they would be no more. So he backed away. So I'm gonna wrap it up. On top of him,
finally had her back.
Yeah, on top of him drinking
romantic story.
Yeah, on top of him drinking blood and shit, sucking blood out of hearts and stuff, and him walking around like he's a badass. On top of that weird shit, he got a fetish for messing with beetles, and he gets stomped out all the time. So and shout out to a YouTube content creator. He's a very how can I put it? He's a very proficient, very well-known figure in the FGC, Rufo Manga. Rufo Manga just released a video not too long ago about how he feels Kotal Khan is whack. I'm like, man, he shares the same ideas I do almost. I don't think he talked about beetle cheeks, but you know me, I'm uncut. I tell it like it is. But Kotal Khan is a huge letdown. And like I said, the legendary Phil Lamar lent his power to a jobber, like a super jobber. Like, put him in a superhero cape, because that fool's a super jobber. Unless y'all can tell me he don't have no redeeming qualities. Unless y'all can enlighten me, he pretty whack.
I mean, he has some cool,
other than the fact that he's
moves, I guess.
Yeah. He's got some cool fatalities too in MK11.
Su Hao got cool moves, and he got an M. Bison hat, and y'all don't give him the respect and love
but
he
it's Su Hao.
deserves.
No, because it's Su Hao.
It's like a Wish version of Kano.
Whoa!
Yeah.
just like I'm gonna do an honorary mention. I ain't gonna elaborate him too long. Just like Movado, What the hell is that? He got little stretchy. It makes the little elastic noises. He puts those little red bands on the ground.
I'll
And he has like spikes in his feet.
I'll do you
Movado
one
was
better.
pretty lame.
Kai.
Oh yeah, Kai, the great value Liu Kang.
Oh man,
yeah, he's great value. Yeah, he wasn't all that great.
Sam's Choice Kin.
Yeah.
Whoa, who you talking about?
Cobra.
No, sir.
Yeah.
Cobra is a legend, but I'm not gonna get into that. Cobra, he had his K-Lee sticks. He had his Cobra emblem on his back. He was great. I like Cobra.
I mean,
biased.
Well, if we're talking about bad characters, I mean, there's also Hotaru. Nobody likes him.
Some people do.
Ooh, boy, I know a man that would get all up in your ass.
Whoa. We don't do that over here.
Different
Mr.
kind of
Hooty.
podcast, Hootie.
Well, I'm just saying, you talk about his boy like that, you'll be walking around using you as a boot.
Yeah. So this has been a very lengthy, expressive podcast, but y'all visited the 3D era. So I'll give y'all one more question, and maybe we can have a variation too one day. Let's give some respect to the 3D era. And who is your most memorable character from the 3D era? I'll let y'all pick two, because I have a good character and I have a bad character. And we'll close it out with that. This has been a fun podcast. And I still got to talk about MK12 a little bit.
I already gave y'all Noob Smoke, right? So I'm going to give you another one. And I'm going just off looks. But man, Natara, she was thick, boy.
Yeah.
But she
drinks blood the right way.
Oh man. she was around me, she be drinking something else, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
But she has a cool aesthetic.
Thick. She's super thick, boy.
Thicker than a bowl of oatmeal, huh?
Yes, sir.
Hey man, Lambo, if you don't mind, you drop a picture of her right here or wherever this gonna go. She's super thick, boy.
Yeah, she's cool. She had a cool fatality too.
I don't even remember. I just remember looking at her thighs.
Yeah, I don't remember her fatality.
So, Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance, everybody only had one fatality. Y'all remember? Because they was experimenting with the 3D. Everybody only had one. Natara would jump on top of you and she would start biting you like ruthlessly. Like she started biting on their neck and all this blood and stuff would appear. And in the middle of her feeding frenzy, she would stop. She still latched on to the person who's getting eaten, but she stops, looks at the screen, like at the player, and she roars. Like she lets out like a roar, and then she jumps off of the person that she's eating and she kicks him on the ground. The second part sounds lame, but it's actually pretty cool. Like that's a cool.
Did she have a special move that was similar to that?
I can't remember. I do not remember in the Natara.
I remembered that animation, but I thought it was just a special move.
I remember her fatality though.
If I'm being more serious, Natara did look. She was super thick, but one character from the 3D era that I wish they would explore more is Ashura. I really thought she was pretty cool.
Yep, just like Tremor, another character that they brought. People got a good warm reception to her, and they did not explore her further. She should have made a comeback in MK9. At least mentioned her. At least gave her a cameo. I agree with you. Those were actually two good picks. BLJ,
not counting Armageddon, she's only been in the one game, right?
Yep, that's it. Deception. Yep.
Yeah.
I thought her outfit looked really good. I thought her moves were pretty cool. So yeah, she was pretty cool, man. They just didn't do much with her after that, but I liked Ashura. She was all right.
Yeah.
There are actually a few of the 3D era women that were pretty interesting that need some more exploration. Like Lee May, they brought her back in, was it MKX? In a cutscene.
That was one of my picks. Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Sure. Yeah. I love Lee May. She's like one of my favorite characters. But she was a female Liu Kang, except she had a more tragic. She had a more tragic backstory. A tragic backstory and a tragic ending. Her ending was like one of the most jacked up in the game. But you talk about Lee May. Go ahead and elaborate and then give your second one, and I'll visit it.
All right, Lee May just had a fun gameplay, in my opinion. So, and then they showed her in MKX. So I was like, okay, cool. We're going to get to see more of her. And she seemed like an interesting character from the 5 minutes you get with her in MKX, and then you never see her again.
Alakazam, poof, she's gone.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And you got another one for us?
I'd have to second what BLJ said. Nitara was my pick that I'd want to see come back. Just because she is different from everybody else. I do like the more monstrous characters a lot of the time in Mortal Kombat because they're just so different. So I would like to see her come back and what they would do with her in a more modern game that's not 3D. But I mean, my other pick on one that really made an impact on me is cheating, because he's still in the game. He's the one of the few 3D characters that's still in the game is Kenshi. I always thought Kenshi was cool when he first came out, and then he's the only one that got kept.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that.
My answers today are very boring.
Hey, nothing wrong with that. That's we just want to get all our perception, different viewpoints and stuff like that. What about you, Hooty? You want to go ahead and go next, or you want to jump in last? What's up?
Yeah, man, I'll go ahead and jump in. So honestly, I want to see Havoc because I feel like that would be interesting.
That would be interesting.
Yeah.
Really feel like that was. And
he's been teased in people's endings too a lot, in MKX, and they mentioned him in 11. So
I think
maybe he'll come back.
He was also literally in Joker's arcade ending.
Yeah,
as his accomplice or
was
whatever.
He?
Yeah. Huh. And another one is Reiko, which they actually did him really well. If you've ever seen the MKX comics, great.
I thought you was finna say the new MK movie. I was finna say, whoa, they did not do him well.
No.
He got wrecked.
They did that boy dirty in that one. But if you
speaking of which, I was gonna say, speaking of which, let's freeze frame. I'm finna take BLJ's lingo. Did y'all see Melina in that new MK movie? What you say? Boy, she was carting around that dump truck, boy. I said, oh, and then I already know they're gonna do a continuity error, and they're gonna introduce Katana like some Nimrods, and she ain't gonna look shit like Melina. I guarantee you in the second movie, she gonna look completely different from Melina. And then people gonna be in a movie theater eating their popcorn. This is the greatest MK movie I've ever seen in my life. And I'm gonna be sitting there like, come on, bro. But yeah, back to you, Hooty. I ain't trying to take the spotlight, but I had to shout out Melina because we thicker than a Snicker. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, go for it.
Yep. But I don't know, if you get the chance, go have a look at the MKX comics that they did, and they mentioned like the Reiko Accords. It had a really good storyline behind it as well. But
yeah, I can second that. I have read a bunch of them. They are pretty interesting.
Cool,
especially if you want more Mortal Kombat lore.
Yeah, but that's definitely two characters I'd like to see more of. And again,
nice. So, man, I'm gonna bring up the rear. And Lambo kind of revealed my first pick. I try not to elaborate on her too long, but Lee May. She was a simple village girl that loved her family, and she did her daily duties in Outworld. They were like a village of farmers. And Quan Chi and Shang Tsung, doing hoe-ass activities, came and enslaved her entire village. And they knew that she had some martial arts prowess, and they told her that if she won the tournament, that they would let her village free. And she wins. Lee May was the canonical winner of MK Deadly Alliance, from what I know. And these hoe asses don't honor their word, and she wins, and they ambush her. And Shang Tsung absorbs her soul and puts it into a mummified dragon mummy soldier from the Dragon King. And she's enslaved, supposed to be forever. But it's revealed in Mortal Kombat Deception that Master Borracho rescues her and gets her soul out of that mummy. But her soul is corrupted from being in that Dragon Emperor's body. So she absorbs some of the Dragon Emperor's essence, and she feels this strange sensation to go to this tomb, which leads me to the next character I want to see. Lee May leads the adventurers in her non-canonical ending to Onaga, and Onaga slays everyone, and him and Lee May become king and queen, which is my next character I want to see. Yeah, I love Onaga. Onaga is a badass. Like,
I want to see him come back too.
Yeah, they introduced him. I think it was the Mortal Kombat Deception intro where Raiden, which is in his dark form, and Shang Tsung and Quan Chi all work together to stop him, and they can't stop him. And Raiden gives up and blows all of them up, and Onaga shrugs that shit off like, bitch, please. You know, I want them to reimagine Onaga and his voice in Mortal Kombat Deception, the conquest mode, when you're running around with Shujinko, and he thinks that Damashi is his friend, and it's really Onaga. When Onaga appears at the end of conquest mode, he sounds really good. Yeah, they're only like 16 years late, but yeah, when Onaga appears at the end of conquest mode,
it's one of the better story modes.
He sounds really cool. So Lee May and Onaga, and I really hope to see those characters again.
Hey, maybe we will. Maybe MK12 will let us see Onaga finally.
And Lambo, you are doing a great job of leading into the topics because, like I said, I'm going to end it with this and get y'all's thoughts on it. I said I had mixed feelings in MK12.
Yeah, we coming up on 2 hours. It's about time to wrap it up.
We'll probably split it in two. But get this. MK12, I have mixed feelings about it because they have a nasty habit of restarting the timeline. So this is the biggest slap to our faces because Liu Kang, spoiler alert, Liu Kang is the god of all creation. He defeats
They're
Kronika.
only 4 years late.
Yeah. He defeats Kronika, the Titan. And for some dumbass reason, and I love my boy, for some dumbass reason with his cosplay wig, he decides to revisit the original Kung Lao and help him win the original Mortal Kombat tournament. Now, as exciting as that sounds, it's awful. It's actually awful in practice because they're going to do a time paradox of all that has happened. He's actually going to wipe himself from existence. If the original Kung Lao doesn't die, not saying he has to die, but the original Kung Lao doesn't die, then and they defend Earthrealm.
I don't think he would, though.
Liu Kang, I think he is. Liu Kang is there at the end of Mortal Kombat 11. Liu Kang is there and saying that he's going to help him win.
No, I'm saying I don't think he would be wiped from existence.
Why is that?
Because they go to the beginning of time at the end of 11, and he becomes a god there at the beginning of time.
Okay,
so he is now the god that has always existed.
Kung Lao them well. Okay, but everybody else will be
I don't think Kung Lao will be. Yeah, that's the thing selfish. Is all these others. Kung Lao might still, because I mean, his uncle might still, or his parents might still get together.
But you know, the original Kung Lao might choose somebody else. You never know. But all I'm saying is, it's a super continuity fuck up.
Yeah, it could mess a lot of things up.
That's why it's mixed feelings of how they're going to make this work. To me, that's not a good
the problem with doing time travel in your story.
But it's not my game. So I'll leave y'all with that.
I feel like they're going to do a fresh wipe. Just clean slate, new Mortal Kombat, new characters all around.
What if we get Scorpion with ice powers?
Never know. BLJ, what about you? What do you think?
About them doing a time?
Nah, just MK12 thoughts. What are they gonna do?
Oh, what are they gonna do? I just hope to see more character variety. See some of the old 3D characters come back, and that's pretty much it, man. I mean, I always like MK. It's always a fun game. I feel like they put a lot of work into the game, a lot of thought, a lot of love into the game, a lot of stuff that they do in their games. I feel like they just do it way better than other games. You know what I mean? They pay attention to detail quite a bit. So I already know all that's going to be there. I just want to see just some older characters come back, you know, that some fan favorites that didn't make it, you know, and throw a curveball in there. Nobody like Cobra, but put him in there, but make him cool this time.
Make him cool.
Whoa. Whoa, this
Make him cool
podcast
for
about
once.
to end. Whoa, this podcast about to end. But don't say nobody, because there are people out there that like me saw Cobra for his greatness. Kaylee sticks, fireballs, badass fatalities. Cobra is a staple in the MK community and series, and he deserves his glorious comeback. And I'm sticking to it. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Yeah, that's pretty much it, though. I already know
Good
everything
day,
else
sir.
is going to be great, so. But that's it.
Well, like I said,
Yeah,
all
it's
right.
pretty much the same for me. I just want to see some of the interesting characters come back, and even if they bring back, I'd be fine if they brought back Su Hao if they made him interesting. Bring back whoever, just make them interesting.
He probably will have a comeback. They probably doing that on purpose and gonna make him like super likable. But we'll see.
He's going to be the next Onaga.
Man.
One last thing.
The
One thing that I
possibilities.
want to see in the MK game that I've never seen, and just because they put so much detail into their characters, I would love to see like a dedicated boxer or like an actual wrestler. I'm not talking about a character that punches a lot, but like an actual boxer in MK or an actual wrestler, like
DJ
not like
Combo.
see how wrestling moves, but like an actual
Actual wrestler.
WWE type wrestler. Yeah. I think MK would do that character justice. I think that would look amazing.
Yeah.
So either or.
Man, we're coming up on a stopping point. We'll have to do that on our next MK discussion. Because like I said, we're
definitely going to have to do a Mortal Kombat 2.
Yeah. That's what's up. Well, shoot, I appreciate the discussions, my dudes. Once again, Hooty, thank you for, strolling down in your umbrella, landing in the seat and hanging out with us, talking all things MK.
Man, I'm just glad y'all had me.
Oh yeah, right on, man. We're looking forward to your return on other topics and subject matters.
Yes,
Most definitely.
We're gonna go ahead and park the party bus. I still don't know if we're gonna split this episode into two. This is a very lengthy episode, but I'm gonna park the party bus. Right now, and I want to say, like I always say, it's been an honor. Thank y'all for being patient with us, and like I say, we're definitely trying new things and new methods.
Fucking glasses.
Yeah, thank you guys for being along for the ride. And I'm gonna toss that bad boy to Hooty. Let him jump in second. Like I know he said thanks for having me, but anything you want to say to the listeners? You know what I'm saying?
I don't know, man. Just keep showing your love. If you've been watching more than one or two episodes, man, keep sticking with us. Put your thoughts and stuffs in the comments, man. Make sure you hit that like button as well. Because that really helps the boys. This isn't just their podcast. This is our podcast. It's all of us.
Yep. Yeah,
So
that's what's up.
Cool.
Took the words right out of my mouth.
Well, if the pages are sticking together, somebody probably whoopsied all over that book. You better wash your hands after you touch it.
What the fuck is he talking about?
Yikes. More advice
Sage
with
advice from
BLJ.
BLJ.
yep.
One last thing I want to add. While you're down there in the comments, make sure to let us know what you think of the changes we've made. If you got any ideas for things we can improve, let us know. We're always reading the comments, trying to make the show better for you guys. So let us know that while you're down there.
Right on. And with that being said, we will leave you guys to it. Y'all go out there and play some Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
Go out there.
All right, let's go play some MK Armageddon.
Yeah.
No,
And all of me named that one. Yikes. Catch you later, guys.